This is Alan Can. I help organizations to deliver better quality software-driven innovations more quickly and more cost-effectively. In this video, I'll show you how you can use IBM DevOps services to collaborate on your Agile project, especially in sprint planning and creating a product backlog. The first thing we do is to go back to IBM DevOps services. We'll go back to the project and invite some people to join your project. So here is where you can invite your team members to join your Agile project. All you need to do is to put in your team members' email addresses and invite them. They will receive an email notification and they can click on the link to come to your project. Now the next thing is to go to track and plan and set up some sprints. We'll go into sprint planning, create a couple of sprints. We have 2 sprints here. We can start to create some user stories in the backlog. Anyone in your Agile project who signed up in your project can create a user story or any work item in your backlog. So let's create some stories. Start. You can choose to specify that it's a story. You can also add description as well as acceptance criteria. Others subscribe to your work item so that when your user story changes, they will get an email notification. You can obviously assign people, or people can grab the item themselves. You can tag it, you can change priority. You can also create parent-child relationship. But in this case, I'll just create one story for now. Let's say I'll create a second one. Background. Alright, let's say I have 2 stories here now. You can easily prioritize your stories by just dragging and dropping. You can't see the priorities here, but if you go to the backlog, let's take a look at the backlog here, you'll be able to see the ranking. So you can move it up and down, move it up and it'll become the first one, move that one up and that one will become first. As you discuss your story points, you can also change them here to assign story points to a particular story. And the same thing as priority. So once your product owner understands the priority, then he or she can just assign priority here. Let's say based on team velocity, both of these will go into sprint 1. So we'll go back to sprint planning and we'll just drag and drop them over to sprint 1. And they will be in sprint 1. And if you would like to get the task or get the story, you can easily assign people here. Let's say in the sprint planning or the backlog grooming meeting, you will need to create a child task for the story. You can again easily create it from here. So let's say this is the child task. I'll just call it a task, and I'll say it has a parent story of just one of these items. Now you can expand this to see the child task from here. Now you can assign these tasks or stories to people. So let's say I assign this one to myself. And then as the person that gets the task, he or she can go to My Work, take a look at what's been assigned to you. The last thing that I want to talk about here is in any sprint planning, you probably will have a theme for the sprint, and in IBM DevOps services, you can use the dashboard to state your theme for the sprint. So let's take a look at how we do that. The dashboard itself gives you a lot of information about data that's been captured for your user stories and items, such as velocity, how many story points you have, sprint burn down and release burn down, etc. But what we're going to do is to add a HTML widget that acts like a wiki for the team. So let's add widget and change the content. Sprint 1 theme setup and complete one simple. There it is. You can document your sprint theme. Save that. That concludes the second part of the video series. In the next video, I'll be showing you how you can use DevOps services and Bluemix to do your Scrum meeting, as well as how you close a sprint and how you collaborate on the coding side of things.